Hello all sentient beings and welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, where we talk about all news, comics, and media related to the... On this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode, we are joined by Ben Harpold and Liz Baer of CybFest Northwest as we talk about what you can expect from this year's CybFest convention. We also talk about the cover release for the Japanese translation of Transformers Last Stand of the Wreckers, and Optimus Prime makes an appearance at St. Louis Independence Day Parade. Today is Friday, July 12th, 2019, and this is episode 137 of Transmissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, the podcast that's ready for convention season to begin. I'm your host Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Yusuf, better known as Yoshi.
Yo!
Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you doing?
Yoshi hasn't been on the show in a while, just wants to add stuff in, that's okay. And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
What's up? Let's talk Transformers.
All right, and we're back again. Yoshi has brought a couple of guests with him. So, Yoshi, could you introduce our special guests for this week?
Yeah, so we have Ben Harpold and Liz Baer from CybFest Northwest. They run that convention here in the Northwest for Transformers fans. And thank you guys both for joining us.
Thank you.
And we're going to get to know you a little better here in a little bit, but we got some news to go over first, right, Charles?
That is right. Welcome, guys. We're glad to have you on the show, and we hope you enjoy your time here, and we're excited to talk about CybFest.
We appreciate it.
All right. So, as always, we start the show off by thanking our Donatreons, those beautiful people who give us money on Patreon and PayPal. They help keep the show going. You guys really help us out, and you're the reason we keep doing this and keep it coming out week after week. So thank you guys. If you are not already a Donatreon and you want to become one, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support, and that's where you can sign up.
Charles, I thought we had a new Donatreon this week.
Did we? Oh, did I forget one? All right. Well, Jeremy, who was our newest Donatreon?
I have it. We have two.
Two?
No. Wait. We have three?
What?
We have three.
Dude, Daryl, you can buy a new computer.
Oh, my God. We have three. We have Mike Seibert, who is a friend of CybFest Northwest, from what I understand. Will Griffin and Toby Hickson. They all pledged within the last week, so thank you for all your support.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
I like money.
And if you haven't done it, go sign up for Discord and link your Patreon and Discord accounts. It's where all the shenanigans take place in Discord.
Yes, you get to listen to the show live. And listen to all the screw ups we make that get edited out of the final version.
And then you get to call us out on it on the live chat. Thank you, Quattro.
All right. That's awesome. 3 new Patreons. That's awesome. All right. As I said, if you would like to join those hallowed ranks, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. And we're going to see Mike Seibert up at TFCon Toronto. So Daryl and I will. He's already signed up for the meetup. So looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of that, yeah, you can, if you are going to TFCon Toronto this week, it's this weekend, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/meetup, and we are organizing a get-together with all of our listeners who will be there. So if you'd like to join in, let us know. Give us your contact info so we can get in touch. We promise we are not selling it to any advertisers. It's just so we can get in touch with you and let you know what's happening with the meetup.
We wouldn't even know how to sell it to advertisers.
So transmissionspodcast.com/meetup. And also, if you don't want to support us by becoming a Donatreon, you can support us by buying some merchandise. So if you go to our TeePublic store at transmissionspodcast.com/shop, you can get some cool Transmissions themed t-shirts there. Also, we have a friend of the show who did a lot of our artwork for the podcast. That is a longtime friend of the show and supporter, K-Girl. And you can check out her stuff at teepublic.com/user/superstark. Lots of cool stuff. Also, this week, it should already be up. It should be in your feed already, but you can download and listen to our newest podcast, the newest podcast from the Transmissions Network, Empire of Rust. That is out right now. You can download it. It is a Transformers role-playing game, tabletop role-playing game podcast, completely run, produced, edited, GM'd by Mike Ordway, our producer, our illustrious producer and editor. Mike has developed this awesome role-playing podcast with a bunch of his friends, and you should definitely check it out. You should have heard a little clip last week, or I guess it was a couple weeks ago. We had the preview up, but the full first episode is out right now, so go take a listen.
I listened to that first episode, Charles, and the thing I came to realize the most about it is we're not keeping Mike busy enough. If he's got time to do his own little show, put in all those sound effects, make it all this awesome, epic, operatic production, we're just not doing enough to keep him busy. That's what this comes down to.
So I guess if you want to give him more work that you're not going to pay him for and expect him to do it, I guess you can see how that goes, Yoshi. And hopefully he'll agree to do that.
I love Mike,
but I for one appreciate Mike for all the free editing he does for us. All right, Empire of Rust, check that out. Transmissionspodcast.com/rust. All right, let's get into some comics news. All right, so I think you guys, I wasn't on the show last week, but you guys did mention that the IDW's Last Stand of the Wreckers is getting a Japanese release, and now we have a cover image that is linked from the TFW 2005 website. This cover is by artist Tajima Tatsuko, and he says he's worked on several Takara Tomy Legends manga and card illustrations. So
that's really, really nice image. It really fits the tone of the book.
Yep. Yeah, this is going to, and this will be out July 31st in Japan. So all the folks who have not had access to Last Stand of the Wreckers in Japanese will now get that chance. So next, we also have from our friend of the show and Donatreon, Winston Chan, his cover art for issue 13, which was also mentioned last week. Now he's put up several images that just show the process of how he developed the cover, from pencils to inks to colors, and it's really cool. It just shows the whole evolution of the cover. So you can check that out. That's also linked on TFW 2005.
And we also should note, when we first reported the news, it was solicited as the RI cover, but that was a mistake. It's actually going to be cover A for issue 13.
Yeah, nice. So the most prevalent cover. So you should definitely be able to get your hands on a copy pretty easily. So yeah, check that out. And the last bit of comics news, we have a very cool announcement from Viz Media. So we're getting Transformers manga. So it's going to be Transformers the Manga Volume 1. And this is going to collect comic strips from Japanese magazines. And this is stuff that could only be, only came out in Japan, of course, but now it's going to be, I believe it's going to be translated for the Western audience. So we'll actually get the manga coming out here. And we do have a release date. DJ Ronan clued us into a release date that was listed on Amazon. And so that looks like it's going to be February 11th, 2020. So still a little ways away, but it'll be apparently be $24.99, and you can pre-order it now from Amazon. So
you know what I want for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, so that's a very cool. That's something I'm wholly unfamiliar with, is a Japanese Transformers manga. I haven't seen any of that. Really excited to get a chance to get access to that.
Yeah, if it's translated into English, I'm gonna look to pick that up as well.
All right. Well, this week, unfortunately, IDW does not put out any Transformers comics, but we do have our special guests here, so we are excited to do a little interview and talk about CybFest Northwest 2019.
So we are with Ben Harpold and Liz Baer of CybFest Northwest. Ben, can you tell us a little bit about CybFest for those of us who don't know what it is?
Well, CybFest is a Transformer fan convention run by the fans for the fans in the Pacific Northwest, so Seattle-ish area. We are entering our 6th year, and lots of Transformer-related fun to be had.
Okay. Liz, when is CybFest this year?
CybFest is July 27th, 11 a.m. at the Kent Commons Community Center.
And Ben, for people who haven't been to this convention, what can they expect to see? What can they expect to experience when they walk onto the show floor?
We have a ton of dealers. We have activities, contests, artists that are going to be selling prints. We have David Kay is going to be there. This will be our first voice actor that we've ever had, and we're extremely excited. There's a play area for the kids. Lots of just being able to hang out with fellow Transformer fans. It's just a great environment. There's going to be a lot of panels put on by various people. Obviously, we have no connection to Hasbro or anything like that, so it's all kind of unofficial panels, but there's a lot of interesting topics that are going to be discussed.
And Liz, can you tell us a little bit more about the panels and what we can expect?
So at time of recording, we have 5 panels that we've just approved. We're going to have a panel on third-party background stuff with Vizim Vangsta of Renderform and Jay of Mastermind Creations. Additionally, we have a panel from Transformers Bot Posting, which is a huge Facebook community. The moderators of that group are going to be hosting a panel on how to maintain a social media presence. We have a Cosplay for Beginners panel with our friend of the show, Shannon. And we have one of our longtime dealers, Ryan King, will be doing a presentation on Transformer scripts and production memos. And then kind of the crown panel is going to be our Q&A with David Kay.
Wow, this is a real thing going on here. This is quite the lineup you got.
I know, I'm excited.
So, Ben, somewhere along the lines, I was allowed to be a father, and I'm very interested in the fact that you've got a place for kids to hang out. What kind of activities are you going to have to keep them occupied so I can go off and do my own thing and trust they won't be dead when I come back?
Well, that's the catch, is we can't be responsible for the kids, so we still need the parent to be there, at least nearby, due to, liability issues. But as far as entertainment for them, we have like a huge bin full of random Transformer toys, as well as Creo bricks and coloring pages for the younger kids. We have some of the bot shots there for kids to play with, and so lots of stuff like that.
I understand that your wife is also a face painting artist.
Yes, she does that for fun. She doesn't. I wouldn't say she's a professional by any means, but she enjoys doing it and has some stencils to hopefully give the kids a little fun face painting. That's
awesome. My kid loves face painting. Now, Liz, what time does the convention open, and how much does it cost to get in?
If you pre-register, you can get in at 10. Everyone else is allowed in at 11, and the price is the same either way. It's $10 to get in the door. This year, we have a family rate of $25 for 2 adults and 2 to 5 children.
And now I also heard when we were doing our pre-interview, you guys are doing something I haven't heard any other convention doing, which is after, what was it, 3 p.m., you lower your rates for people?
Not just lower the rates, we let people in for free. Sure, it's only the last couple hours of the day, but we would like to give people a chance to experience it if they can. And hopefully they'll enjoy themselves with just the limited time that they're there and want to come back. It gives the dealers a little bit of a boost at the end of the day, which is great. And it's something that we've kind of done unofficially the last couple of years. So now we're putting it out there a little bit more. Because every once in a while you'll have somebody walk up like an hour before the show, and it just doesn't seem right to charge them $10 in when they're only going to be able to be there for an hour or so.
Well, I think that's really cool and really nice of you guys.
We're nice people.
I'm learning this. Is there anything else about the show that we should touch on that I'm not picking up right here?
One of the big things that we like to do is some of the contests and stuff. So we have an art contest for people to submit 2D drawings or customized figures that they can bring in, and it'll be judged, and then they can win show dollars that they can then spend at the dealers. And some of the other contests we have a trivia contest, which changes up every year. And we are doing a trading card game tournament. So the first 16 people that sign up for that, and then there are prizes for that as well. And we do some of the other fun stuff, transforming contests, and whoever we have a kids division as well as an adult division, and that way kids are getting not having to compete against adults, have a chance, and they win the figure that whoever wins gets the figure that they were transforming. And then we have like something that we came up with a couple of years ago was the posing contest, which is we bring out a figure and then people can get 30 seconds to make a cool pose for the figure, and then we take pictures of it, and whoever comes up with the coolest pose or most unusual pose for that figure wins some money to spend in the room.
I think the dealer dollars, I think, is a really cool thing that started getting done, because essentially we're buying the prizes from the dealers themselves rather than buying them from a retail store. Yeah.
At one point we did like Toys R Us gift cards and stuff like that, but it'd be better to take that $30, $50 or whatever it is and get that right back to the dealers so that they make a little bit more money. But it's something that's an idea that we took from BotCon, as I've been a person who's submitted videos into the BotCon Film Fest and stuff like that, and that's how they do their prizes, is you get show dollars.
Did their prizes.
All right. Well, I think that's all sounds really awesome. Jeremy or Charles or Daryl, do you guys have any other questions?
Well, one question. Yoshi, will you be there?
See, I was trying to avoid that, asshole. I will be there through the psychic connection of Quattro, who will be there for me.
I still think you should come. Bring the kiddo, and maybe you don't have to work it.
I'm now that the guilt is laid on me, I will double my efforts to try and go. Originally, yay. I was just passing on it because I didn't have any child care. But if I can bring my kid and she can have some time to be occupied herself, I'll definitely check into this, because one thing I want to do is record what the show is like and share that with our listeners for sure.
That'd be great.
Just leave the kid with Quattro.
And we introduce your daughter to my son, and he'll keep her entertained.
He does that. They can keep each other entertained. That'd be great.
All right. Well, I will honestly try and see what I can do for you, because I would love to go. I've been wanting to go for a while.
Well, we would love to have you.
I would love to be loved.
Maybe we can talk a little bit about how you guys got into Transformers, or just where your love of Transformers came from. That you have to love it a lot to put on a convention about Transformers. So what Give us a little about. Give us your story. How you came to become Transformers fans.
You want to go ahead first, Liz?
I can go first. It's more recent and easier to remember. I grew up with Transformers through my dad, who was a big G1 fan. My first swear word was in the G1 movie. But so he raised me on G1, and then we pretty much forgot about it for a while. And then McDonald's was doing a promotion for Transformers Prime, and I got really excited about that and walked through the room while my dad was watching it, and I thought, oh, this looks kind of neat. And I sat down and watched some Transformers Prime, and then I sat down and watched all of Transformers Prime, and then I pretty much went backwards, and I watched Prime, and then I watched Animated, and then I watched Beast Wars, and basically just went backwards down the timeline, and pretty much skipped the Bay movies almost entirely. I still haven't seen Revenge of the Fallen, and I don't care to.
Good.
So, but that's my story. I moved to Washington State 6 years ago, the same year that CybFest had started, and met most of the friends that I have today there through Yumi, who's one of our artists there. So CybFest kind of introduced me to the whole Washington and Pacific Northwest region, introduced me to all these crazy people that I know now, and now I'm helping to run it. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Awesome.
And we try to encourage people to not have friends outside of CybFest, so that's also...
Exactly. It's part of... they made me sign my soul away.
That's right.
Said I can't have any friends, so...
One of us.
Yeah, my story is a little bit more similar to so many of ours, which is grew up in the 80s, grew up on G1, got my first Transformer Christmas morning. It was Bumblebee in my stocking, and I had been a fan for many, many years. And then my high school years came about, and my interest in toys had waned back in junior high. And then it wasn't until after high school that I was kind of like, a friend of mine was collecting Transformers, and I'm like, oh yeah, those things were awesome. And then I started kind of catching up on Beast Wars and stuff like that, and kind of got drawn back into it and started slowly collecting, and then it snowballed from there. And here I am with a ridiculous collection. And putting on a
convention.
And a convention, and a kid who is just as obsessed with Transformers as I am, so that's great.
That's parenting done right.
That's right. I even did a video about it. It was great.
Well, I think you started a good question to segue us into rapid fire questions there, Charles.
It's what I do.
You do it well, sir. That's why you have 3 doctorates. So, Ben and Liz, we're gonna run you through some rapid fire questions. These are just really quick, off the cuff, give us the first answer that pops in your head questions, just so we as listeners can get to know you two better, and also pass judgment faster.
Okay,
I'm ready.
Okay, so first one: Autobot or Decepticon?
Autobot.
Okay, Ben, who's your favorite Autobot?
Bumblebee.
Okay, Liz, who's yours?
Whirl.
All right. Transformers live action movie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or Bumblebee?
Bumblebee.
More Than Meets the Eye, Robots in Disguise, Till All Are One, or the new Transformers 2019 series? Comics book related.
Till All Are One.
Yeah, I think I'd go with Till All Are One.
Or Lost Light.
Are you for third-party toys, yes or no?
Yes.
No.
What?
I don't buy them. I think they're really impressive. I personally don't buy them.
He got so defensive.
But well, as a showrunner and a person, and we have dealers that sell this stuff, I don't want to seem like I'm against it. I'm certainly not against it. I just don't have the money to spend on Hasbro stuff and third-party stuff. So, I drew my line there, and that helps a little bit.
And that decision has given us a convention in the Pacific Northwest. Thank you. All right, guys. Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Coffee or tea?
Neither.
Chicken or steak?
Steak.
Chicken.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Neither.
Burger King or McDonald's?
McDonald's.
My son would make sure of it.
History or science?
Science.
Yeah, science.
Xbox, PlayStation, or Switch?
PC.
Xbox. A, B, or C? D.
Which is my next question. PC or Mac?
PC.
PC.
iPhone or Android?
Android.
iPhone.
Really?
It's just what I happen to have right now.
And what phone app can you not live without?
Merge Dragons.
Oh my god, I played that too. I did not know that, Liz.
It's a game. It's a scam. Don't play it. It wants all
Okay.
your money.
Do you agree, Ben? Is that your number one go-to app?
Currently, I just love like puzzle games. So, but yeah, that's kind of a current addiction right now.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel.
And who are your favorite Marvel characters?
Sherry.
I'm gonna go with Wolverine and Gambit.
Ooh, can I say something controversial? Captain Marvel.
Why is that controversial?
Well, yeah, why is that controversial?
Because a lot of people are sexist.
No.
Continue.
No, well, that's true. That is true.
No.
I don't
Well,
think
those
that's our
people can go
audience,
straight to
but-
hell.
Yeah. Continue.
Stallone or Schwarzenegger?
Schwarzenegger.
Pixar or DreamWorks?
Pixar.
DreamWorks.
I heard Pixar works.
No, Pixar. I'm a huge Disney fan.
I'm DreamWorks. I like How to Train Your Dragon a lot.
Those are great movies.
What is your guilty pleasure movie that you'll always watch whenever you run across it?
Anything Star Wars that's bad.
Oh my god.
So the prequels.
There are so many guilty pleasure movies.
Attack of the Clones.
The Crow.
Ooh.
Though I think it's I think it's a great movie, and I feel no guilt about it.
You shouldn't.
I know.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Fuck. The Simpsons, Family Guy, or Rick and Morty?
Simpsons.
None.
Walking Dead or Game of Thrones?
Neither.
Walking Dead.
NFL, MLB, NHL, UFC, or NBA?
Women's soccer.
Good answer. I would probably have to go with NHL.
Yeah.
Here on the show, Ben, we hate Canada, and you're not helping at all.
Hey, some of my favorite bands come from Canada.
I think I should put an asterisk there. Yoshi hates Canada. I don't even know where Canada is because I'm not familiar with that country. I know there's a Canada to the north. But
It's funny, our guests knew exactly what I was referring to.
I didn't say anything.
It's a good thing that Yoshi is so far away from Canada.
Mm-hmm. He also owns a membership to the Vancouver Zoo.
Where you can see all sorts of Canadians.
That's right.
I hop over. I need an excuse to visit Tim Hortons once in a while. Okay.
and complain about no heavy whipping cream.
Shit. What the fuck is wrong with those people? Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, or Volkswagen Beetle?
Beetle.
What? I feel like I have to say Beetle because of Bumblebee, but I think I would go with a Ferrari.
All right.
Beetles are just cute.
They are cute, but damn, I'd love a Ferrari.
This is the last question. It's been a long gauntlet you guys have gone through. You've done admirably. But at the end of the day, blonde, brunette, or redhead?
Brunette.
Ooh. I'm going to have to go with brunette.
Just in case my girlfriend's listening.
But redhead is very close, and my wife would agree.
All right.
That is what is my significant others here?
You didn't have bald as an option either.
No, I did not. And I'm not sorry about that. But that is it for the rapid fire questions. You guys went through very well. Thank you very much. I feel like we all know you a little bit better now.
I feel like I know Ben better now. Add me on Merge Dragons.
I feel like I know myself better now, too.
And I think we're all going to have to download Merge Dragon now just to see what the hell that is.
It's got dragons in it, and you merge things. Spoiler.
It's very satisfying.
And again, I want to thank you guys for joining us and letting us interview you and talking about CybFest. For anybody who wants to know any more information about CybFest, we will include links in the show notes, but you can go to cybfestnw.com. And there you can find all the latest news. You can add them on your Twitter, on your Instagram, on your Facebook, on your Tumblr, and be current like us on everything that's going on with the convention.
Thank you so much for having us.
Very much.
Yeah, we really
Absolutely.
appreciate the support you guys have given us. Thank you.
And you guys are going to stick with us for the rest of the show, right?
I would like to. Yeah.
All right. Cool. Charles, back to you.
All right. Well, thanks. Thanks for hanging out with us all this week as well. You did hang out with us on the toy show as well, so everyone should go listen to that and listen to all the stuff we talked about in the toy show, because we totally recorded that first before we recorded this one, since that occurs earlier in the week. But anyway, let's move on and talk about some transforming pop culture. All right. Oh, this week, so a couple of interesting news tidbits came up. Normally we Transformers stuff is really confined to Transformers media, toys, the regular stuff. But this week we got a couple of interesting news bits. First up, apparently Paramount is going to do a new theme park in London, and there will be a Transformers themed attraction included
in my London.
The real London, Daryl. London in the UK.
Am I in a fake London? What?
Yes, you are.
As we tried to say earlier, Canada is not recognized by anybody.
So Paramount is apparently getting into the theme park business. They want to have a big UK theme park attraction place featuring The Godfather and Mission Impossible and Transformers. So since Paramount has the movie rights, you can assume this is going to be movie-themed Transformers. So, okay, I guess that's fine.
I want to ride the Godfather ride.
Yeah, I don't know what that's going to be.
It's a ride you can't refuse.
Al Pacino kisses you
next to you. Oh, the kiss of death. This is all I need. So that's interesting. I mean, Universal Studios already has the Transformer stuff here in the States. I don't know. Theme park rights get weird. That Universal still has all the Marvel comic stuff from the 90s because they
east of the Mississippi.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the
Disneyland's
rights
getting Marvel land soon.
Yeah. It's all weird, so I guess Paramount can't do Transformers themed rides in the States since Universal, they negotiated the rights there or something. I don't know. But I guess in the UK it's fine, so look forward to that. Looks like it won't be up until 2024, so it's going to be a while. But if this podcast is still going on, we will report about it then. Maybe we'll at that point we'll be able to get out to TF Nation and maybe even make a stop there.
Dibs on using Patreon money to go outside.
Only if we don't do anything else with it from here to then.
we gotta get Daryl a new computer first.
Oh right, yeah. Priority.
What?
It's called a Raspberry Pi. It'll be an upgrade.
Raspberries.
All right. So Daryl's been replaced by Homer Simpson, but all right. So another bit of transforming pop culture is we've got an Optimus Prime balloon in a July 4th parade. So this is in St. Louis, and you can see pictures. This is linked from the TFW 2005 website. This comes from the Five Colors Company on Twitter, who put these images up. But it's clearly Optimus Prime as a giant balloon float. It's based on the Evergreen design, so the newish designs that Hasbro has put out in the last year or so. These are the designs that all the new cartoon was it Cyberverse, the new cartoon? All the designs are based on these evergreen designs. But they do have a lot of G1 influences, so it is very recognizably Optimus Prime. But it's cool to see him getting as a recognizable figure in pop culture, getting a float and having it not be the Michael Bay design. That's always encouraging.
What's funny is St. Louis is the home of World Events Productions, which is Voltron.
Oh,
I was just going to ask why is
Shots
Optimus
fired.
Prime in a St. Louis parade?
I'm kind of getting flashbacks to the Miss America Optimus Prime outfit.
That was horrible.
That was ridiculous. So Transformers are present in pop culture, which is always cool to see. All right, let's move on to some Transformers convention news.
So TFCon is this weekend. If you're listening to this, you're probably waiting in line at TFCon or you're on the way. So here's what you have to look forward to. They have announced that Colin Murdoch is going to be attending. He's a voice actor. He's known for Quick Strike in Beast Wars, Thrust in Armada, Scorponok, Wing Dagger, and Wing Saber in Energon, and Wing Saber in Cybertron. So he will be there all weekend. And next we have some TF Nation news. They've announced that Jim Sorensen is going to be attending. He has done many books about Transformers. The Allspark Almanacs, the art books, and then some of the art books like Transformers Legacy that did the packaging art. So if you have those and you're going to be at TF Nation, go get them to sign it. And then next we have a live audio performance at TF Nation from the never actually made season 4 of Transformers Animated. Marty Eisenberg, who is one of the writers on the series, has come up with the script that is what could have been, and it is called The Trial of Megatron. So this is really cool. I'm really hoping that it's recorded, and I would love to hear what it is. But if you're going to be there, this will be available Saturday night to weekend pass holders only. Next, we have some San Diego Comic-Con panel information. Thursday, July 18th, in room 29AB at 10 a.m., IDW and Hasbro Transformers: A Bold New Universe. And this will have Olivia Remendelli, Tyler Blazinski, who's doing the new both of them are working on the new Transformers Galaxy book, Hasbro VP Michael Kelly, and Eric Burnham, who works on the Ghostbusters side as well as Transformers Ghostbusters. And it's moderated by Transformers editor David Mariette. Also on Thursday, in the same room, right after this panel, you're going to get a sneak peek of Cyberverse Season 2. And this is moderated by Jack Conway, and is going to have Cyberverse story editor Randolph Hurd, writers Gavin Hignite, Zach Atkinson, Dan Salgaro.
Just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. Salgarolo and May Cat, which thanks for a nice short name. And Hasbro Studios, Mikhail Hauser, and a to-be-determined member of the brand team, as well as the voice of Bumblebee, Jeremy Levy, will all be on this panel. They're going to talk about the characters, new stories, new toys, and then you're going to get an exclusive clip. So that looks like fun. Yoshi, you got to talk to May Cat at TFCon in LA last year.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see what she says when she's actually allowed to talk about specific stuff.
This is true.
Also Thursday from 2 to 3 p.m. in room 23 ABC is the big Hasbro Transformers panel. This is going to be looking at the 35 years of Transformers. It's going to have stuff about the new generation's toys. This is going to have Ben Montano, Sonal. I am so sorry for these names. Sonal Majmudar. I'm so sorry. John Fraser, Sean Carmine, Isabella, Mikhail Hauser, and Ashley Creedon. And all of them are from Hasbro. So we will obviously be having information on all of these panels after San Diego, and it's just a couple weeks away now.
And Ben Montano's a designer, as far as I can remember.
He still works for Hasbro.
Mm-hmm.
So next thing we have is an exclusive for San Diego Comic-Con. This is going to be the Blaster vs. Soundwave 35th anniversary edition of the Transformers trading card game. There are two versions of this. The convention edition is going to have your classic G1 box art of Blaster and Soundwave. And then there's going to be a regular edition that has, I guess, more modern artwork of the two characters. And looks like the cards also reflect this artwork. So the convention edition is where you would be able to get the G1 art on the cards. And these are essentially it's a starter set with Soundwave, Blaster, and you get cards with the tapes. Oh, it's not. Oh, yeah. And so you get Soundwave, Blaster, all the tapes, and then like full set of 80 battle cards. So this is really cool.
But there's your exclusivity, Yoshi. They made the G1 set exclusive to the convention, unfortunately.
Well, then, they are not making any friends, are they?
Yeah. Quattro here in the chat says he thinks it's a versus deck. I have yet to play the game yet, so I'm not sure exactly what a versus deck entails, but...
You play one deck against the other.
Right. Okay.
Versus.
I guess you have the Autobot and the Decepticon deck or something. I don't know. But if you enjoy the game, I'm sure you will be all over this. So that is everything we have for convention news here.
All right. Well, let's finish up the show with some feedback.
Now, if you're listening to our show and want to give us some feedback, head on over to transmissionspodcast.com/feedback. There you can leave us a voicemail, an email. You can hit us up on social media. You can even join our Discord server and yell at us that way. But give us some feedback so we can talk about you on the show. And for first, we're going to jump over to voicemail, Jeremy, where we seem to have a message from Dr. Pants himself.
Hello, Transmissions Podcast. It's Dr. Pants, and I've got some comic feedback for you. You guys want to hear from people who are enjoying the current IDW run, and I gotta say, I'm one of those people. We're 8 issues in, and I'm definitely hooked. I'm enjoying the ride quite a bit. Particularly the past 2 issues have been great. In terms of storytelling and writing, at least from my point of view, I'm really, really into long-form storytelling. I'm into more political stories, the murder mystery kind of thing that's going on, and all these little plot threads that they are kind of weaving together. I'm really looking forward to seeing where that all goes down. Doesn't really bother me. We haven't gotten a whole lot of action. The action that we have gotten was really, really cool. I particularly liked the last issue with Cyclonus and Flame Wars fight. It was really, really fun. But no, I'm really, really enjoying it. I think I'm enjoying it a lot more than I did the end of the last IDW continuity, particularly Optimus Prime. I was not a fan of that series at all. I did not like really any of the characters in there. And I'm definitely enjoying this more. I feel like we're getting a lot more time for some characters to breathe, a lot better motivations, and it's just been a blast. I'm really enjoying it. The only thing I would improve on is the art. I'm not a big fan of Anya Hernandez's art, and it keeps popping up in every issue, and I wish that, we could get something a little bit better. But that's my 2 cents. Thanks, guys, for everything, and I will catch you some other time.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Pants, for that and for leaving us a voicemail. That was really cool.
I wasn't on the last review, but you guys were a lot harsher than I would have been in just the last issue. I thought the last issue picked up a little better. I mean, it's still not the the highs that I had in More Than Meets the Eye and Robots in Disguise, but I thought the last issue was at least marginally better than what we got in the last story arc.
I think that's what we said, though. I think that's what we said, is that it improved.
Oh, well, it sounded like you guys didn't like the art, or didn't like it. At least it sounded like you didn't like it as much as the last issue, or Or maybe it was just Yoshi who said it was the worst comic he'd ever read. So I don't know. I wanted to push back on that.
I think Yoshi did say that.
I compared it because I reviewed this whole separate book. I compared it to Avengers and Transformers.
Yeah.
No, but I agree with Daryl. I think we all kind of said it was a step up, but still, to us or to me,
There's a lot more steps to go.
Yeah.
Well, then you shouldn't say it's worse than kind of the worst books that are out there. Then.
No, I'm going to continue to say that.
All right.
But Charles brings up a good point. How do you guys feel about the new Transformers book? Please leave us a voicemail, shoot us an email, let us know if we're being too harsh, if you're loving the story, if you're hating the story, if you are just supporting Transformers in whatever form they come in. We want to hear about it. So head on over to transmissionspodcast.com/feedback. And we're going to now check our email. Doopy. And we have an email from Mike Seibert. And Mike writes, I'm really excited for TFCon Toronto next weekend and to see Charles and Daryl out on the show floor. This will be my third TFCon, but it will be my first Toronto TFCon, and honestly, my first fan convention outside the U.S. So I do have some questions that might be of value to listeners that might be in the same situation as me. Are prices and transactions in Canadian dollars or American currency? Or is American currency accepted? Should I convert all my cash to Canadian dollars for the conversion, I mean? Is it better to do transactions on a credit card? I'm a dumb American, so what can I do to avoid getting ripped off on the exchange rates? Any advice for what is appropriate to declare to customs? And any other advice for foreign travelers and convention attendees that you can think of? I know that early on in our show's infancy we covered this, but maybe we could talk about it some more, Daryl.
Yeah, we did a couple convention-specific shows where we tried to just kind of give people heads up about stuff like this. And I know that we did do like a really big deep dive on specifically TFCon Toronto because we wanted to make sure anybody coming over was, well versed in Canada and what to do, because it's not America and you can get in trouble for doing things here that you would do there. So as far as question number one, Mike, is prices and transaction in Canadian dollars? Yes, they are, because this is Canada, but American money is accepted at most of the tables, just because the dealers are nice and they will take your American money, and
some of them are American. In the
exactly. So what you need to do is the exchange rate is I think at 35% right now. So kind of keep that in your head. For every dollar American you spend, it should likely equal about $1.35 Canadian, or if you want to be kind of generous, give it $1.30, just to kind of, because people are going to kind of make their own exchange rates up in their head. So if you're, can kind of quickly do that math or use your phone to do it, that kind of thing, you can maybe figure out which currency is cheaper. I would honestly.
Would it be helpful if he was at a dealer that is an American company, try to haggle with them, be like, hey, I can pay you in American. Can you cut me a deal?
Sure, you can do that. Or you can, if you're going to buy something that's more expensive, then you have cash on you, pay with a credit card, because the whoever's got it set up, whether they accept in Canadian or in American, you will get that exact exchange rate of that particular moment that you're doing the transaction. So you'll always get the best deal if you're using a credit card. Converting all your cash into Canadian, I wouldn't recommend that. I would probably, since you will be traveling back, across the borders, I would have some American on you. But I know for your specific situation that you're currently in Canada, kind of touring around, so you'd probably want majority of your cash to be Canadian. But have some American on you just to kind of work with, because it is it is just it's a convenience thing. If you run into something when you get back, you don't want to be like Jeremy and have about $2.50 still sitting in your car.
It's still sitting.
I figured it would be. Yeah.
One day I will return to Canada and I will be able to buy a Coke.
Yeah.
I will say it's too late for his trip now, but you should really think about a month or a month and a half ahead of time. Go to your bank and convert your money then that you plan on taking, because you'll get a better exchange rate probably, and just one less thing to worry about that you already have it done.
Well, a month ago you would have, because the exchange rate has actually gone up about a point or so within the last month. But there are exchange places around. Any bank will do it, but any bank will also, kind of tear you a new one just because they really give you the worst rates. But there are legitimate like exchange places like there are in the U.S. and they'll give you a better rate. As far as custom goes, that's a good question.
I mean, maybe I could take this one.
Yeah, maybe you should take this one because
Careful. Charles is a little bitter because I almost got a shot last time.
Yeah.
Well, so
yeah, go ahead.
Don't have Yoshi in the car when you drive across the border, so that'll help. But yeah, I think actually you don't need to really declare anything. So, I mean, unless you're a dealer, like actually bringing merchandise into the country to sell, I mean, I would say you shouldn't really worry about it. Like, just say you
won't have receipts for anything, right? So
I mean, so you're like, just when I go,
just say you bought souvenirs.
Yeah, I mean, I go over the border, I just tell them I'm going to a Transformers toy convention. It's in Toronto, and it says for the weekend, and I've never had any problem. Nobody's tried to search the car or anything like that. They've said, okay, it's fine. So, yeah, I mean, you don't really have to declare anything or do any customs for stuff you bought. I mean, yeah.
Don't buy Kinder eggs and expect to get over the border flawlessly.
I mean, I would suggest for anything that you buy outside of the convention, keep your receipts for, just because you will have to declare that, especially if you're driving. You'll get to the border and they'll ask you how many days you've been there, how much money did you spend. And if you do get pulled in, they'll want proof of that, right? So, you'll have found that if they open up your bags and stuff like that, they'll see a whole bunch of toys or whatever. But you won't have receipts for that. But you'll have receipts for any other things you would have bought, like groceries, or if you sit there and you declare $150 and you've been in Canada for 3-4 days, or on Mike's particular situation where he's been in Canada for like a week and a half, right? And he only declares $300, right? That's suspect. So they're gonna wonder. They're gonna pull this guy in and say, "How did you spend $300?"
I don't think they really ask when you're driving. I don't think they really ask for an itemized thing.
They don't. Not if you
just say
unless
you
get pulled in, right? Unless you get pulled in and they want a detailed description of what you bought.
The key is don't have Yoshi in the car.
Yeah. Don't drive around with an Iranian as your passenger.
Don't declare your pepper spray.
Oh, pepper spray is illegal.
I ruined a trip to ages 3 and up by doing that.
Yeah, and leave your guns at home. They are also illegal. But we have weed, so you can come over here and get lots of weed. But then you can't take it back.
You can through Washington.
That's a long detour. That's a very long detour.
Well, that's where Mike is going back to. So.
Yeah, but you won't get on the plane with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, there's lots of stuff you can know if you're driving. Speed limits are different. 100 kilometers an hour is not 100 miles an hour. That kind of stuff.
Use the little numbers instead of the big numbers.
That's right. If your car has those, some cars don't have those. Pro tip is just follow with traffic. Go the same speed as the traffic goes. Right? If you're passing everyone, slow down.
I'm confused. Did Mike smokes weed?
I don't know.
No, I'm saying he lives in Washington State.
Oh,
I don't think he does. He does not strike me as the type.
Yeah.
The thing is he could come to Canada and try it out, right?
He's going to come back from TFCon and change me.
Try it.
What else? There's lots of little.
They're called decals, Mike. They're called decals.
The distracted driving laws in Ontario, especially, are no joke. They will take your car away if you're driving. So, yeah, don't be driving and be on your phone. And if you are speeding, I mean, I told Charles this when he was driving with Yoshi the first time. If you are caught speeding over 100 or over 50 kilometers above the speed limit, they will literally take your car away from you and send you away. So, yeah, it's no joke here. They're cracking down on that stuff.
I mean, 50 kilometers above the speed limit is no joke either. I mean, it
is no joke, but I mean, you can be in a highway situation and get off the highway and be just cruising, and you'll be in a 50 zone, in no time, and you'll still be doing 80, and if you're in a fast car, you could be really doing a clip and get caught. So, it's common sense. It really is. A lot of it is just common sense. Yeah. Know a lot of the stuff that could get you thrown in jail, that kind of thing.
I would say at the convention, don't be afraid to say hi to people. I know lots of us are introverts, but you're surrounded by people that are interested in the same thing you're interested in. So you already have something in common.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see Charles or Daryl, say hi, ask for a sticker.
Yeah.
And a hug.
I'll tell a quick story about my first TFCon because it applies to that. I went to my first TFCon and I had just been making toy review videos for about 6 months. And I thought, I'm going to go to this TFCon. Everyone's going to know who I am because I've made videos online and I'm going to be, cool and everyone's going to like me. I went to this thing and nobody gave a shit who I was because nobody had seen a damn video of mine. And I walked in and they're like, I was like, oh, well, I don't know anybody here. I'm alone. And I sat down on a couch in the middle center area, and Evangelist was there, and Josh Perez was there, and Josh Perez reached out and said, he complimented the shirt I was wearing, which was a Spider-Man shirt, and he just kind of welcomed me into the thing, and I was like, you know what? This is cool. I'm happy. And I didn't give a shit that nobody knew who I was, and I just kind of made friends with the group that was there. And yeah, so it was you got to get yourself to get into that area, and then the group will kind of suck you in, they'll bring you into the group. It's very community oriented.
I think, but of course, Mike's no stranger to the con scene, so I think he'll be just fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. This is more of a tip for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had an interesting experience. I went to BotCon in 2008 by myself, and I had a roommate that I just met online, so I had never met him in person.
That usually ends out well.
Actually, it ended up working out really well. And so him and I were both kind of shy, and we didn't know really how to kind of interact with people at the convention. And we said, you know what? The next people that enter the bar and they look like Transformer fans, we're going to invite them to sit down and chat with us. We did, and I'm still in communication. I still talk to those guys all these years later. So you never know who you'll meet and become lifelong friends with. So.
And you'll meet a lot of people in lines. Make line buddies.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Mike, I think we've answered your questions. Hopefully, since you're over the border, it's not too late. Thank you so much for the email. And that'll be it for feedback this week, Charles.
All right, well, that will do it for this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode. Again, want to thank our guests for joining us this week, Ben Harpold and Liz Baer. Check out CybFest Northwest. That's coming in just a little bit less than a month. So if you're in the Washington area and can make it out there, I think it'll be a fun time. We're going to push Yoshi to go, and hopefully he'll be able to make it and be the
peer pressure.
All the cool kids are doing it.
And and if you're at TFCon Toronto this weekend, say hi to me and Daryl. We are both there. We're doing that Transmissions meetup, so go to transmissionspodcast.com/meetup and let us know if you're going to be there. Although at this point, it's probably too late if you're listening on Friday and you haven't filled out the survey, but come say hi. We'll
come
get
and see us at the panels too. We're going to be involved in the podcaster panels.
Exactly. So even if you didn't fill out the survey, you can still hang out with us. That is not a requirement. So
and track down Mike.
Yes. Mike did fill out the survey, so chances are if you find us, you'll be able to find him because
it's pretty hard to miss Mike. He makes his presence known.
All right, well, that'll do it. We'll see you next time, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Later.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Hey, Yoshi.
That was you. Yeah?
You said January 12th.
Did I? Liz, I knew I brought you onto the show for a reason.
I just assumed this was going to be a lot later broadcast.
On this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode, we are joined by Ben Harper and Liz Baer of CybFest Northwest as we talk about what you can expect from this year's CybFest convention.
Harpold.
Fuck.
Not
Harpold?
Not Harper.
Why are we doing this live?
It's what Mike wanted.
Because Mike requested it, and he's going to regret it.
Oh, my God.
Wait till Charles can't handle it anymore.
Transformers.
Oh, it was Daryl who caved.
I thought we had a new Donatron this week.
Did we? Oh, did I forget one?
Obviously, some are more important than others.
Jesus.
So this is the thing about Chopra. When you're the only person preparing the show notes and no one else helps you out, then sometimes you miss
the point of failure is
I've been in this I don't know, mental headspace with no kids around. I don't know what to do.
I had a busy week at work.
I have
you
no
couldn't stop
excuse
for anything. You had to work 24 hours.
Yep.
So, Yoshi, I'm going to hand it over to you, and
why?
Let's get into it. You set up the interview, Yoshi. Do you remember this?
I'm trying to.
Yeah, you said that already.
You can help or you can shut up, sir.
He's still with us. It has not changed.
Wow, this is a real thing going on here. This is quite the lineup you got. Okay, I think we're getting some feedback from Ben's mic.
Ben, do you have headphones?
He's like, cool.
That's fixed. That's great.
Yeah, you're welcome for that.